Hello everyone, Zeno here. Here to bring of part 7 of What If Jaune and his team become Spartan. Link down description of the fanfiction of this What If. Listen here YouTube. I do not own anything and this is not a scam. Chapter 13. The teams return back to the ship. As they reach the bridge they were informed that Ozpin wishes to speak with them. Ren. He's most likely curious if those explosions in MT. Glenn were us. Nora. Well, it's already obvious it was us. I mean, who else would it be? Jaune. Put him through. The soldier nods as they show a projection of Ozpin in the hollow table. In Ozpin's view, he is contacting them through a screen in his office. Ozpin. Mr. Ark, I'm here to presume that explosion was you. Jaune. Yes Ozpin, we finished up our mission in MT. Glenn and were able to eliminate a White Fang expedition that was hidden in the mountains. Ozpin. Explain. Jaune. Our informant told us that the White Fang were using the underground train system to bomb the walls of Vale and led a horde of Grimm to the city. My forces were able to destroy every last bit of explosives hidden in that mountain. We struck a huge blow at the White Fang and we plan to finish it. Pyrrha. Once all our forces arrive in Vale, we will set multiple patrols in the school. We have our intruder still in custody. We haven't interrogated her yet, we still need to find her other conspirators. We'll send you a picture of her Ozpin, look through your security footage and find her allies. They no doubt fled Beacon and are in Vale. Ozpin. I understand Ms. Nikos, I'll contact you once I find anything. Send evidence of your doings in MT. Glenn. I'm sure the people of Vale would be happy of your success. Jaune. Will do, we'll set up operations in Vale. Our ships are en route to Beacon as we speak. As Jaune ends the call. Jaune. Set up outposts in these locations. We need to have full control over Vale. I want to know what's happening around Vale. The White Fang are still out there and we need to take them out. Ren. Understood. Nora. What about Roman and Neo? Jaune. They'll set up operations in MT. Glenn. That's where our main base will be built. I had Fel and his squad assist them in building the base. Jaune. And don't worry about Atlas getting any ideas. Mulan. Yup, I will keep an eye on them. Pyrrha. Were you able to get data about Atlas and all their little projects they've been hiding? Achilles. Yup, and to tell you, majority of them aren't that impressive compared to UNSC or Covenant Tech. RWBY. And they claim they're the most technological city in the world. What a fucking joke. Jaune. Anyways, once we reach Beacon we'll head to our outposts we set up in the academy. Pyrrha. RWBY, you can go patrol around the campus and find out if those intruders are still here. Nora, you do the same but in Vale. Head to Junior's bar and give him this briefcase and ask any info regarding our two suspects. Nora. Do we have a description of them? Jaune. Once we have access to the camera footage we will send you a picture. Nora. Copy that. UNSC, sir, we are arriving at Beacon. As the Pelican doors open as they look to see the outpost they installed in Beacon for the time being. As the Pelican lands in the platform as Pyrrha and RWBY head to Beacon while Nora heads to a Warthog and drives to Vale and Jaune and Ren head for Ozpin's office. As Jaune and Ren are walking to Beacon they notice something in the sky. Jaune. Looks like General Smallwood is here. Ren. This will cause us some trouble, I'm sure of it. Jaune. Let's hope Ozpin has this covered for us. They reach the elevators and head up to Ozpin's office. Once the elevator doors open, they weren't surprised to see Ironwood with Ozpin right now. Ozpin. Mr. Ark and Ren, good to see you are back. Where's the rest of your team? Jaune. Pyrrha and RWBY are patrolling the academy. Ren. And Nora is in Vale heading to a bar that could give us the intel we need. In Ozpin, were you able to find our intruders? Ozpin. Yes, I have. As Ozpin shows Jaune and Ren an image Cinder and her lackeys. Jaune. Jaune, send this picture to Nora now. Jaune. Already on it. Meanwhile with Nora, she just arrived in Junior's bar and was able to head inside. She threatened the bouncers and they let her in. The minute she went in, everyone stared at her as she stood out from the crowd. She reaches where Junior is and takes a seat. Junior. What do you want? Nora. Information, I'm looking for these two. As Nora presents Junior a picture that Jaune sent her. Nora. Know where they at? Junior. Sorry, I don't. Nora. Well, I'm sure this will change your mind. As Nora brings not 1 but 4 briefcases as Junior opens it and finds that it's filled with cash and lots of it. He checks to see if they are the real deal and they are. Nora. Each case is around $1 million lean, so I take it all of these combined is $4 million lean. I think you get the picture. Now information. Junior looks around and then leans forward. Junior. I heard rumors that those two operate in a warehouse where the White Fang are doing their little operations. Here's the location of the warehouse. You didn't hear this from me. Nora. What? Hear what from who? As Nora leaves the bar and heads outside, once she gets back at the Warthog. She heads back to Beacon and sends a message that she got the intel they need. Back with John and Ren. John. By now, Nora should get the picture and find the info we need to track their whereabouts. By the end of the week we will have them in custody. Ozpin. Excellent news. Then Ironwood decided to butt in. Ironwood. Excuse me Ozpin, but do you mind telling me who these two are? Ozpin. James, these two individuals are John Ark and Lai Ren. They are the leaders of the unknown group. Ironwood. Wait, so you're John? Yes, we are, and no, we will not lend you our technology, and that's final. Ren. And don't ask why. We already know the reason for it. The White Fang can easily steal your tech. We heard rumors that the White Fang have already acquired some Atlas tech, and I don't like to see them with UNSC gear. Ozpin. He's right James, trust me. Knowing the greedy Atlas Council, they will do everything in their power to get what they want. Ironwood. Fine, but don't blame me if the Atlas Council tries something. John. Oh, we can handle those pigs just fine. Ren nods at that, especially with the Infinity. Atlas doesn't stand a chance. John. Anyways, Ozpin, we set up outposts around the city and we'll do routine patrols to scope out the White Fang. Whatever they're planning is big and we intend to stop it. Ozpin. Of course John, I understand, and what of the intruders you spoke about? Ren. We'll meet up with Nora now, she already acquired the info we need to capture them into custody. Ozpin. I see, contact me if you have them in custody. John. Of course Headmaster, come on Ren, let's go. Nora is waiting for us. Ren nods as they head to the elevator and leave Ozpin's office. Ironwood. Ozpin, are you sure you can't convince them to at least lend a few gear? Ozpin. No, I won't. Chapter 14. After their conversation with Ozpin and Ironwood, John and Ren head out to the courtyard where Nora is waiting for them in the Warthog. Ren. Did she really have to park in the courtyard and not the road? John. It's Nora, Ren. As Nora sees them and waves as she is scrapping her knife on a stone slab. As the of them reach the Warthog. John. What were you able to find? Nora. 2 of her lackeys are operating in a warehouse. We could ask Roman to locate the warehouse for us and we can capture them. Plain and simple. Ren. Our only problem is the White Fang. One of our scouts reported that another attempt of a raid happening in one of outposts. John. And what happened? Were we able to push them back? Ren. Yes, we did, but whoever was with them gave our soldiers a run for their money, but luckily a squad of Spartans were there to stop him from causing any more damage. Nora. Do we have footage of this guy? Ren. Yes, we do. As Ren got a datapad in the Warthog and looked up the footage of the incident of the attempted raid. As he scrolls the footage and founds the time that man attacked their men. Ren. Here. John and Nora looked at the footage and see a man wearing black and is wearing a mask as he is holding a sword and releases a slash of red energy that nearly destroys their gate. John. We have any info on him? Ren. Yes, we do. As John hands Ren the datapad. As he began searching info regarding this man. Ren. Adam Taurus, he is a member of the White Fang and leads the Veil branch of the White Fang. His semblance, Moonslice, allows him to absorb energy in his weapon Wilt and Blush and send it back when ready. Nora. So it's just like the blonde bimbo's semblance. John. What kind of energy can he absorb? Ren. From what I can speculate, most likely kinetic energy. The more attacks we deal at him, the more energy he can absorb. So most likely plasma energy, he won't be able to absorb, but I wouldn't know if that's possible. John. So the energy sword could work against him. I'll make sure to take note of that if we ever encounter him. Nora. Which would most likely happen, considering the White Fang are still trying to attack our bases. Ren. So what now, with the info we have? We could plan out a raid to arrest those 2 individuals. John. I'll speak to Roman and see if he can give us the location of the warehouse. Ren, contact our forces and tell them to make sure the area we're heading is evacuated. I don't want any civilians on the crossfire, and contact Pyrrha and RWBY and tell them to get ready. Ren, contact our forces and tell them to make sure the area we're heading is evacuated. I don't want any civilians on the crossfire. Nora, don't have to, they're already here. As Nora points behind them and sees Pyrrha and RWBY heading their way to the Warthog, but they can see from behind them Team WBY is following them. Nora, I can take a guess and say they saw RWBY and wanted to talk to her. Ren, and RWBY got really pissed off and probably yelled at them. As RWBY and Pyrrha reach the Warthog. Ren, shouting match. Pyrrha, shouting match. Jaune, RWBY, Pyrrha, we are heading to Vale tonight, we gotta lead to Cinder's 2 other lackeys. We'll only send our team to capture them. Blake, what is this about a warehouse? Jaune, yeah, and who the hell is Cinder? RWBY, it's like what I just said, this is all military business. Did you not hear me, or do you have earwax on your ears? Pyrrha, RWBY, enough. You already said what needed to be said. Just stop. RWBY, fine. As RWBY storms off to the Warthog as she sits on the back of it near the turret. Jaune, come on Pyrrha, we're leaving, we need to gear up for our mission. Pyrrha nods as Jaune and Ren also get into the Warthog, and before Nora drives the Warthog. Jaune blocks the way. Nora, get the hell out of the way. As Nora honks the horn. Weiss, what are you guys planning? What is your goal here? Jaune, yeah, and why did you drag RWBY into this? She belongs here in Beacon with us. Blake, RWBY, we're a team. RWBY, yes, sorry to burst your bubble, but we were never a team from the beginning. The minute I leave all of you and found a better team, you decided you want me back. But before this I was always ignored, you treat me like I'm a kid, I tried my best to be the best leader for the team and you guys don't appreciate it at all. As RWBY points at Weiss. RWBY, you should be the one that's happy I left Team RWBY. Weiss. Ever since I became leader, you kept complaining that I shouldn't be leader and it should be you. Well, guess what, I left and now you're leader. You should be celebrating, not complaining. I bet Blake and Jaune like you better as a leader than me. Blake, she's horrible. RWBY. Jaune, Weiss isn't fit to be leader. Weiss, hey, RWBY, huh, I knew it, ice bitch isn't cut out to be leader. Guess all that training went down the drain. In the Warthog, Juniper team were really interested in this conversation, especially Jaune and Nora. Nora, so Weiss's leadership turned out to be a failure. Jaune, she's a by-the-books kind of person. She will never listen to anyone's suggestions but hers. She will think she is always right despite her being wrong. Ren, I wouldn't want a leader like that. Pyrrha, same goes for me. As Team WBY is still bickering with RWBY and she is getting very pissed off. RWBY, guys, enough of this pointless arguments, me and Juniper team have business to take care. So I suggest you all fuck off or else. As RWBY gets on the turret, as the barrel of the turret is spinning, indicating that once RWBY pulls the trigger they will get mowed down by bullets. Jaune, I want to fight your team, vomit boy. Jaune, it's Jaune to you, bimbo. Jaune, whatever, I want to see if you can put up a fight. I bet your team are all bark but no bite. Considering you all think you're hot shit with that fancy little armor. Jaune, alright, let's make a deal, shall we, after this fight. I'll ask Ozpin to schedule a match, our team versus your team minus RWBY. If we lose we give Atlas our equipment and armor and RWBY goes back to your team. RWBY, and if we win I want to have a match with Weiss alone. I want to teach this stuck-up bitch a lesson for so long. Ren, and we won't use our guns, just our fists, nothing else. Pyrrha, but you guys can use your semblance and weapons. Jaune, deal. Watch out, vomit boy, P money, crazy bitch, and femboy. I'll show you that we mean business. As Jaune gives them the finger as she walks off, the same goes for Weiss and Blake as Juniper team watches them leave. RWBY, make sure to kick their asses. Jaune. Nora, we will definitely kick her ass. Pyrrha, and she won't see it coming. Vale warehouse. 2 Warthogs reach the warehouse as Juniper gets into position. UNSC forces already secured the area and evacuated the civilians in the area to safety as to not get in the crossfire. Jaune, have the civilians all been evacuated? Jaune, Yes John, all citizens within a 5-block radius have all evacuated. RWBY, has Team WBY snuck out of Beacon and ended up following us? Pyrrha, Achilles tells me that they're in their dorms right now. Nora, good, I don't want them interfering with our work and letting those two escape. RWBY, so what's the plan? As John had Ren project a hologram of the warehouse. Ren, according to Mulan, there's a small force of White Fang in the warehouse. Most of the stuff there are just regular crates that belong to the warehouse. Mulan, so essentially you guys wouldn't have to worry about us shooting fire dust and exploding. Nora, so we can go all out. RWBY, yup. John, alright, so here's the plan. We'll breach our way to the warehouse doors and head our way to the 2 targets. Ren, I'll take Mercury on. Pyrrha, then Emerald is mine. John, Nora and I will take out the White Fang. RWBY want to be on the turret. RWBY, I'm game. John, good, if these guys try to escape the UNSC can find them if they reach the checkpoints, but I don't want that to happen. So let's make sure we do this efficiently. Alright, let's go. As Juniper team heads to the Warthog as RWBY gets in the minigun turret. They head to the entrance of the warehouse as Ren activates a device that lets them see how many people are inside. Ren, around 18 to 30 hostiles inside, I got eyes in the room. Looks like our 2 targets are by those crates. As John looks at the device. John, alright everyone get set up. Nora, start the show when you're ready. Nora, you got it. As the rest of Juniper team ready their weapons. John equips himself with the assault rifle, Ren with the DMR, Pyrrha with the battle rifle and RWBY is in the minigun turret. Nora on the other hand equips herself with the rocket launcher as she makes her way to the warehouse. Nora, boom. As Nora fires a rocket in the warehouse as the doors explode. Juniper heads in as John throws Nora a saw as she began mowing down White Fang. While John does the same as RWBY mows them down with gunfire from her turret as Ren and Pyrrha head straight for Mercury and Emerald. Pyrrha throws a knife at Emerald's hand as it gets stuck on the crates as she jumps and knees her straight in the face as the crate breaks. She then grabbed her legs and threw at a wall as she rushes at her and kicks her in the stomach. As for Ren, he holstered the battle rifle as he brought out 2 knives and began dueling with Mercury. He tried to attack Ren with his weapons on his prosthetic legs as Ren dodges and swats them away. He then dodges a kick from Mercury as he uppercuts him in the jaw as Mercury lost a tooth from that. Then Ren punches him hard at the stomach, then raises both his hands up and slams them in his head as Mercury slams to the ground. Meanwhile with John and Nora, they are finishing up mopping up TJE White Fang as RWBY decimates any grunt that tries to escape the warehouse. Nora, looks like we're clear here. John, right. RWBY, all clear here outside, looks like all the White Fang in the warehouse are dead. Now it's those 2 left. John, yup. Nora, those 2 are having fun with this. As they can see Pyrrha and Ren beating the shit out of those 2 as Mercury has a black eye and bruises in his face, while Emerald also has bruises as they try to stand up and are having a hard time. As both of the Spartans delivered their final blow, Ren punched Mercury in the dick then gave a good kick to the face while Pyrrha went behind Emerald and grabbed her from behind and body slammed her into a bunch of crates. As they looked at their knocked out bodies and they can tell those 2 gave them a beatdown. John, well you 2 enjoyed this fight. Pyrrha, of course these guys mean nothing compared to the things we faced. Ren, yup. John, anyways cuff them up and I'll contact the Pelican. Let's head back to base and see if we can make them talk.